Private William P. Woodlin, a resident of Syracuse, New York at the time he was drafted, was born a slave on the Forlorn Hope plantation in St. Martin's Parish, Louisiana, about 1841. He was freed upon the death of his master, John Palfrey, in 1843, and traveled with his family to New York. On August 20th, 1863, William was drafted into the Army in Syracuse, New York, to serve a 3-year term. Woodlin was mustered into Company G of the 8th United States Colored Troops on November 3rd and ultimately served as a private in the regimental band. The following excerpts from his diary recount his involvement in major battles, his thoughts on unequal pay, and day-to-day life serving as a black soldier in the United States Army during the American Civil War. We were called up and dressed in our Zouave suits today and played for dress parade. We also got our leggings and gave up our guns as we belonged to the band. We did not have a very good success, but received orders to be ready to move at a moment's warning. The whole regiment was formed in a line to march out in review before the 22nd Regiment. With the band playing Yankee Doodle, we took the carrier for New York and paraded through Court and Broadway, on down Canal Street to the wharf where we shipped at night on board the City of Bath and Prometheus, bound for Florida. As we passed Charleston, an occasional gun fired, and we saw smoke rising from various points along the shore. We are brigaded here with the 54th Massachusetts, the 3rd U.S. and 2nd South, as well as the 55th Massachusetts under General Montgomery. We were ordered forward and soon could hear the roar of cannon and the rattle of musketry ahead of us. We were hurried up in the line of battle at the Double Quick, and our regiment was placed in the center and received the hottest fire that was given. The colonel fell, and the major was wounded, as well as a captain and several lieutenants. The band and drum corps went up to the front ahead of the cavalry and were exposed to a very hot fire. We were again moved a mile further from the battlefield, and we moved on until we reached the station. Excitement was quite high today in reference to the smallness of the pay of $7 per month. The paymaster came down this morning, and most of the men, having backed out of their good desires, took the paltry sum of $7 per month, the larger portion of which will be spent in gambling. The boys belonging to the picket boats brought down an alligator head which they had killed. It was 14 feet and 9 inches long. His mouth contained some 79 teeth. They were taken out, and his jaw was made into rings and other ornaments by the boys. 2 adult contrabands with their children were brought in, as well as a goodly number of white trash, whom we did not keep long. Orders to evacuate and report to Jacksonville en route for Fortress Monroe and the Army of the Potomac. We soon reached City Point and took up a line of march for General Butler's headquarters, about 7 miles distant, through Virginia dust, which is terrible indeed. The evening was enlivened by the bombardment of Petersburg, and the morning was ushered in by the monitors shelling the woods. Things are very uncertain about our future destiny. The guns soon opened on us, and some 8 or 9 shells were thrown in on our camp before we could get out of the way. Our sergeant major was wounded, and several from the 7th United States Colored Troops were as well. We marched up to the front about a mile to some breastworks where we lay all day, expecting an attack which came just at sundown on the extreme right. Our regiment stood their ground, losing but 3 men wounded. It then broke out with extreme fierceness on the left, and like a continued roar of musketry. The artillery then opened and drove the enemy back. The mini balls flew sharp that day. I can say, for they flew very near me before I could get cover. Our batteries commenced shelling, and the Rebs answered with one of their messengers coming right into the entrenchments. The sharpshooters are very bad here, throwing a saucy good ball and at long range too. There was one man shot through the head here during the day. We were mustered in for pay with that miserable slave ration of a government check to every man, which means $7 per month. I draw my passing notes to a close after a year's pleasant companionship in jotting down these passing thoughts, hoping that this veteran of 5 battles may have an honored place among the scarred relics of the present war. I will convene it to Northern hands, from which I shall expect that it will be kept but a memorial for the coming years, of him who has carried it on the tented field along 2/3 of the Atlantic coast, 100 miles up the St. Johns River and up the James. One more journey and thy travels will be lore. Adieu. William P. Woodlin.
If you enjoyed today's video and would like to see more content like this, be sure to take a shot at the like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest BirdDogg content. And if you'd like to support the channel, for a limited time there's exclusive Civil War Diaries merchandise available in the video link below.